This member of the cabbage family is not only delicious, but it's absolutely easy to grow. Let's look at growing kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is a cool season crop, so you need to start your seeds in August for a fall harvest or around November for an early spring harvest. I start my seeds indoors in this greenhouse and it grows very quickly. So as you can see here, by October I had sowed these seeds around November, and in the month of October these seedlings are ready for transplanting in the raised beds. Now we're going to be planting our kohlrabi in this raised bed. There are two varieties of kohlrabi I'm growing here. One is the white Vienna, which is an early maturing kohlrabi variety, very delicious and very easy to grow as well. And I do have some purple kohlrabi as well. Now if you've seen my previous videos on my monthly series of gardening, you must have seen that we do harvest a lot of kohlrabi from our garden. So it's a delicious vegetable. If you haven't tasted it, you should try it out. It's quite delicious and healthy as well. Now, kohlrabi needs full sun to grow, just like the cabbage plant. It's the same member, it's the same family as the cabbage plant, and it requires full sun to grow. And I've mixed in a lot of organic matter into the soil. You can see how light and fluffy the soil is in the raised bed. And I've also mixed in a lot of manure, organic material into the raised bed, which will help the kohlrabi grow into decent plants. Now here you can see that once you plant the seedlings, they might look a bit off, but don't worry, water them well, and within a day or two, the kohlrabi plants will steady and start growing. Now in the month of November, you can see that the plants have grown slightly larger than what we planted them. And at this time, if you see some seedlings that are dead, you can just remove them and plant new seedlings in place of them. And for the spacing, I'm growing my kohlrabi quite close this season. You can see here in the month of December, the plants have grown even bigger. And they will start to form bulbs. The kohlrabi bulbs are the edible portion of the plant, but the kohlrabi leaves as well are edible. So if you like eating leaves like collard greens, you will like the taste of kohlrabi leaves as well. So as you can see here, some of these kohlrabi plants have grown pretty large leaves, and just like collard greens, you can eat them, you can prepare them in the same way. Now kohlrabi needs a lot of nitrogen to grow. So if you have a slow release fertilizer mixed into your bed at the time of planting, about 2 months later you can add next round of fertilizer that will help the plants grow. You can add any vegetable fertilizer or even a high nitrogen fertilizer. It works well for kohlrabi plants. Now if you see a lot of leaves being developed instead of the bulb, it means that your soil is too rich in nitrogen. And in that case, you need to use a vegetable fertilizer instead of a high nitrogen fertilizer. And in February, we have our first harvest. As you can see here, we just cut the plant at the base, and this is the kohlrabi bulb. And you can keep harvesting a lot of kohlrabis. It's a very interesting looking vegetable, as you can see here, and it's delicious eaten raw. One of my favorite plants that I eat raw. And the leaves as well are edible, and the leaves are very delicious, by the way. You can use them just like collard greens, like spinach. You can eat them raw, you can even eat them cooked. And the kohlrabi bulb itself might be a little thick as far as the skin goes, so just remove the skin, and the interior part of the kohlrabi bulb is very nice, fleshy and soft. And since kohlrabi is a winter vegetable, you don't need to water it a lot. But if you do get dry winters, then provide adequate water so that the bulbs can grow to a decent size. And as you can see here, it takes about 3 months for the plants to grow and produce bulbs. Here you can see that the purple variety of kohlrabi right next to the white variety. And by March, when it's spring and it's warm, the leaf production will increase quite a lot. And that's why you need to make sure you harvest your kohlrabi in the fall or the winter season or early spring, and don't wait too long because kohlrabis will go to bolt as the temperatures rise. So as you can see here, beautiful looking kohlrabi, and you can get a lot of kohlrabi in a very small space, and that's the best part about growing kohlrabi. And the purple variety of kohlrabi is also very delicious. You can plant either the green one or the white Vienna as they call it, or the purple one. Both are very delicious. So there we have it, folks. That was our episode on growing kohlrabi. If you haven't tried growing kohlrabi, do try it out. It's a very delicious vegetable, member of the cabbage family. It won't disappoint you. Eat healthy, be well. We'll see you again soon. Happy gardening.